MyFM, it is Valentine in the morning. Jill's got a list of shows that are very popular here during the pandemic, during quarantine. But she's losing her everything. Fill in the blank with whatever you want right now. Because I made some joke. I go, it's funny, we're in a Zoom session. That's how we're watching each other right now. And I go, it's funny when you're in a Zoom session, Bri, and you go, I don't look that bad. And then you go, oh, now I remember I've got touch up my appearance turned on. And Jill said, what?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Appearance, yeah. There's a touch up your appearance in Zoom.
How do I turn this on?
You don't. You can't. It's only for me. Sorry. I'm looking. I know it's in the preferences, I think, like that. I'm trying to look here.
Okay. I'll figure it out. Wow.
It's a little thing that says touch up your appearance. So go through your preferences and stuff like that so you can find it there.
Great. I'm going to do that.
All right, so your little list. What do we got here?
Yeah, so the survey was done to see what shows are being watched the most during quarantine, and according to this survey, it's a lot of familiar, kind of older shows that have been around for some time. Rick and Morty popped up, The Office, Parks and Recreation, Seinfeld and Shameless, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, The Vampire Diaries, and then also Law and Order SVU, which I love, and Criminal Minds. But the number one, the most watched show during this quarantine, Friends.
Really?
Yes, that just kept trending up for a lot of people. It's now on HBO Max, every single episode, but yeah, that is the most watched show right now. When it comes to kind of like comfort shows, not so much these newer ones, but older shows that are familiar to us.
I've been watching a show with my wife. If you listen to our radio show, you might know what I'm going to say already here, but I'm going to tell you after the break. So I've been watching this one show, and something happened in the show. It was so impactful. I was screaming at the TV, and it's an older show. And Leilani said when it did happen before, people were just going crazy because they couldn't believe it happened on the show. And if you're a fan of the show, I'll tell you the moment kind of coming up next without giving away for somebody else who hasn't watched it here. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I was right there with you. I was right there with you when it happened years ago. And I saw it last night, or yesterday rather, and I was like, no! And I'm a grown man. I was like, no! Why are you doing this? I was so mad. I wanted to write the writer. I was so mad. So mad.
I love it when a show does that, though. When you feel so deeply about something, I love that.
Well, you're a monster, because this is horrible. We'll be right back. 6:32. It's Valentine in the morning.
Valentine in the morning.
104.3 MyFM.
Get ready for brighter days ahead with Bonds and Albertsons. Summer is coming, and we're here to help. Stocked and ready with the best meats for grilling, fresh local produce, and all your summertime favorites at a great value. Say hello to summer with large, ripe Hass avocados, only 97 cents each. And Signature Farms pork spare ribs, previously frozen, are $2.77 per pound. Limit 2 packages total. While supplies last, Club Card where applicable. Bonds and Albertsons. It's just better.
T-Mobile is allowing us to feel more connected than ever before. Our friends and family are being reached out to more now in a different way, but in a way that can be incredibly positive and should continue even when the in-person hugs start up again. So my mom is in Connecticut, she's 80, and from T-Mobile phone calls to texts to video chats, I'm able to check in on her a lot. And we have a new game that we're playing. It's called Where in the World is Sheila? I taught her how to change her background during some video chats, so now my sisters, when we get together as a group on Monday nights, have to guess where she is. T-Mobile lets us see and hear it all loud and clear. An 80-year-old Irish mom trying to speak with a French accent. She stands in front of the, as she calls it, Champs LCs. Others may call it the Champs-Élysées. And you can get it too. T-Mobile's reliable service. It's about to get even better now that T-Mobile and Sprint are joining forces. With their two networks coming together, T-Mobile will build America's largest and most reliable 5G network. You're not going to have to choose between the best 5G network and the best prices. You will get both. Go to T-Mobile.com to find out more.
For more information about contests on this station, go to 1043myfm.com/rules.
This traffic report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo Privacy. You've got problems on both sides of the 405 freeway right now. Southbound side is coming up on Roscoe, a fender bender there, a couple of cars that are involved. They're already off to the right shoulder, but they are going to wait for CHP. And then northbound side of the 405 is coming up on Skirball Center. There's an SUV that broke down that's blocking the right lane, and they're saying that the driver is trying to wave down somebody to help them out. So watch out for some minor delays there. Northbound side of the 405 is coming up on Skirball Center. Westbound side of the 60, just before you get to the 5, the 2 cars trying to go to there is in lanes. You'll see some minor delays on westbound 60, but northbound 5 is heavy from the 710 over towards the 60. If you see what's going on, the traffic tip line is 888-500-5003. And some minor delays as you're coming out of Corona on the westbound side of the 91. Green River to the 241 where they did catch up with that wrong way driver, and then delays again Imperial Highway to the 55. Want the same internet but more privacy? DuckDuckGo's got you covered. They help millions of people like you get privacy online without any trade-offs. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo, privacy simplified. That's your traffic. I'm Tony Jordan, 1043 MyFM.
All right, Tony, thank you very much. 6:35, it is 1043 MyFM. The weather today, mostly sunny, cooler. Temps in the 70s to low 80s. That's nice. For the weekend, temps in the 70s tomorrow, highs in the 80s by Sunday. Jill's got the Hollywood headlines coming up.
Coachella may be moved again. I'll tell you the latest at 6:50.
So my wife got me into a show, it's called Downton Abbey, and I watched the movie already, and then she goes, if you like the movie, let's go back and watch the show. So we started watching it, we're into season 4, and there's been stuff happening, you know, and certain people have passed away, I'm not going to tell you who, and that was pretty hard, you know. And I got past that first passing away of somebody, and then the next big one comes. So if you're a Downton Abbey fan, get text in at 31043 and let me know if you're on board with what I'm about to say here. When this particular gentleman passes away, I was going to lose it. I'm like, how could you do this to the show? How could you do it? I was so mad, and my wife's like, that's the same thing. When it happened in real life, in real time, everybody was up in arms. And back then, this wasn't a bingeable show, because this came out once a week or something like that. And it was kind of like Game of Thrones, where there'd be, 2 years or something in between. You're like, what's going on? What's up with the Crawleys? I want to know. And this person that passes away, I was so mad. I said to my wife, and I don't know if anyone's ever experienced with the TV show, I said, I don't know if I can keep watching. I was so mad, and it was so impactful to the show, this particular person, I couldn't figure out if I could keep watching the show or not. I'm going to, but I was mad.
That's how I felt when I was watching The Walking Dead, and Negan and Lucille, and there was that episode where we lost 2 characters.
Yes. The baseball guy,
and I was like, I don't think I can keep watching. Yes. And shows, when they do that too, I remember hearing about the Red Wedding. I never watched Game of Thrones, but you hear about the Red Wedding and how people were just so shocked by that. But there's these moments in these TV shows that just really resonate.
Well, what they did in this particular TV show that might be smart, and I'd be curious to talk to a TV writer about this and their thoughts and everything. Are you okay, Bert?
Sorry, I just had to clear my throat.
In the middle of my
it was off the air. Only
story.
Jill could hear it.
Oh, okay. Nobody heard it on the air. Okay, you had close your mic to reverb. The Zoom session going on. I was like, how incredibly rude. You know, one of the most important things in my life. Wow. I guess the story's got boring. Brian's making executive decisions. We heard him coughing. You didn't. So anyway, I wanted to talk to a TV writer and ask him if this is something that they would approve of. This person who died, incredibly impactful. I was all bummed about it, and I was just like, I can't watch this. And so I said, all right, I'm going to give it one more episode. And that was the end of the season, so I had to start season 4. So you get episode 1 of season 4, and they start with you 6 months later. So they didn't put you into the funeral, into the whole mourning period. They gave you 6 months later, where there was some normalcy for some people, not for all the characters. And I thought, that's kind of smart, because the first major character that died, it was like the next day, you saw the funeral and everything else, you could see the pain on his actors' faces, because they're all doing a great job. So with the second massive, fatality of the show, this really important character, they did the old 6 months later for the next episode. And I wonder if that's smart. It gives the viewers some relief from a highly emotionally charged show and everything like that. I don't know. Be interesting to see what writers in TV land out there say about something like that.
Right. No,